Hey Pisces, heavy the head that wears the crown, eh? Pisces, that is all signs and all houses. Let's see how you're doing. We've got this lunar eclipse, right? I'm capturing the energy of it now. Usually the moon doesn't affect the water until 12 hours after it's passed over that water. So we must be something similar. But yeah, we've got the lunar eclipse extended. Full moon in Taurus. Second house energy. Now what I've done is, these are the decks I'm liking to use right now, and I went in and I split them to get some initial energy from them. We might just actually stick with these two cards. I'll see if they want to send other cards my way, they will. But I've got Andre and Gracias, his divine doors here. We'll get 3 of those, starting with this one on top. I've got Alana Fairchild's Wild Kuan Yin, and we'll start. This is when I split the deck. This is the one that came out. I've got the Morgan Greers, of course, and I split them, and we've got the World. Got the Lenormand, and I've got the Loyal Friend, the dog, plus the 10 of Cups, plus an 18, which gives us a 9, of proving yourself to everyone. But the happiness, so your own energy of the 10 Cups. And of course, now this little deck is special because a lot of my day-to-day work brings me in contact with animals, and I have 3 parrots in my life. They've been in my life for the past 3.5 years, and so gradually, bit by bit, I've had this deck for years, just as I think I've had it since childhood. And they decided, I feel a lot of animal spirits talk to me through this. There's also a monarch butterfly on here, which speaks to me of monarch mind control influences and programming through culture. Not all of us are direct MK Ultra victims, being reared in it through the monarch program. The monarch program is one where you're born into it. It's a multi-generational experience, shall we say, of torture and being used. So a lot of people in the entertainment industry, as you well know. The last person I noticed to be completely positioned as a monarch victim is Gabby Petito. But here we have, so anything that comes through this deck might have references to that, but right now we're standing strong. We have the Queen of Wands in the upright. Ooh, with the Jack, which would be the combined Knight and Page of Wands right underneath. So we'll keep those cards. This deck is coming from what she probably doesn't call Australia, but it's coming from Mel Brown, and she's an Aboriginal healer. And I normally have all of her decks. This is the Aboriginal Spirit Oracle deck. And it's, I think, from 2013, and it carries quite a punky energy to it. So we're going to get pushed. I always get pushed by her decks. They're very gentle to look at, and then they pack a huge punch. They're messages coming through from her ancestors, God as well, but ancestral energies and opinions. Very opinionated and very helpful. Absolutely, if there's a pain point to find, it's extreme medicine that comes through these cards. These are Susan Shepherd's Phoenix cards. Susan switched dimensions, shall we say. She died this past April 19th, which I understand to be a sacrifice day, and I'm not sure if she did that willingly or unwillingly. But I know that she had autoimmune problems for most of her life, and she leaves behind a 22-year-old daughter who might be 23 by now, but my first deck of cards came from, were a Susan Shepherd deck, the Black Moon Astrology cards. So the day that I found out that she had passed, I ordered these Phoenix cards. These work with, as far as she's concerned, past life experiences, past lives. For me, I don't question past lives as a reality. I'm just not sure if it's a reality for all of us. So it might be for you and it might not be for you, but it certainly works for ancestral energy as well, and geographical energy, cultural energy. Okay, and I know that this card in particular is coming from North America. Well, it's the wrong word to say, but we have a 6 there, so we have a gift. And I'm just going to make sure that I get the name absolutely correct. It's First Nations. And we'll read it that later on, but it's the Mound Builder Hand Effigy from the Hopewell Indian Burial Mound in southern Ohio. The Hopewell First Nations. So we'll get into that. There's a card layout that she does, which we won't be doing, of course, but she does a planetary position reading. And so to give you an idea, and I'll hold it up later on, but she does a paragraph for each card in each position. This is what her read looks like. So we'll read the paragraphs for this card from each of these positions later on. Okay, so I'm gonna get these cards set up. Then we'll get some more doors and get into the tarot. Okay? All right, Pisces, here we go. Except that I forgot to point out, while I pointed out Mel's card, I forgot to name it. It's Frustration, and underneath it we have Truth. So I might hang on to the Truth card as well as the Frustration card. And what struck me is the white to black transitions with blue here as well. Even the brown and the gold. There's a serious color correlation between these two cards. What I did when I was splitting this deck, this card came out and I thought, you know what? Because I got this card for Gemini or Libra. And I want to say Gemini. Yes. And I thought, well, you know, I'd rather get a card that is unique and that I haven't already got. I put it back in. Then I got another card that I'd already got. And I split it a third time. And got this again. I'm like, okay, it came back again. So therefore, definitely for you. Okay? And again, it's not the first time that there's been a correlation in my readings between Pisces and Gemini energy. So, twin energy, you're two fish, the twins of Gemini. So it's you know, there could be something there. But this color grading, so all of the gray areas of life, yes, the nuances, all of the everything is what, and that's what you excel at, Pisces, because I know you're every house and you are every sign. And that's the weight of it. That's the head that wears the crown. And I really feel like the Queen and King of Cups they actually wear all the crowns. More so even than the Emperor, as far as I'm concerned. Because they have to be all kings and queens. They have to be all houses. Okay? There. So now I've remembered his frustrations. Okay? So let's find out. Alright, let's just... When I was packing away, I noticed that there's the Queen of Pentacles right here with the Crossroads card. That was right underneath the dog. And so I thought, you know what? Let's hang on to that as well. Because we have, and I've got this other queen here, yes. And there very might well be a crossroads situation for you, because right underneath the Jack of Wands is the Two of Wands. So this decision, yes. And we have the World card here. This is very similar to like a world situation, right? Okay, so we've got that door. Let's get, whoa, holy crap. You know what? And I should say, this card did exactly what this queen did. I didn't even split this deck. This card flipped right out into my lap between my legs. Okay, so that's, oh, wow. When I get a blue door, there are a couple of them in this card. I know that I'm getting a communication from somebody on the other side who was connected to you, who either died a violent death, an early death, or was murdered. This takes me to my Hampstead research work, where I work with murder victims and victims of violent death. They communicate to me through this color blue for years now, and I've got quite a case history built up around that. So I know that when this, and there's one other, there's also another possibility, the Magic Circle use similar color to this. They are a Freemasonic fraternity, obviously to do everything with their magic work. Headquarters in London. And we don't want to, well, I do know what they get up to in their spare time. But yes, so there's a possibility of deep magic as well. But echoing this light blue door, which isn't exactly the, it's not the blue, so it doesn't grab my attention by that, for that automatically. This one does. But there's an echo, so we might have a generational thing here. But that is speaking to the blues in these cards for me. And let's get one more door. Please. It's smirking, but I want it to... They know how to fly. But they don't want to. Well, maybe we're just taking 2 doors. It really feels like we might just be taking... Okay, we'll just take the 2 doors. Very well. Let's see. I'm going to go one more time. Okay. Thank you. Okay, passages, an understanding that needed to be reached bit by bit by bit by bit by bit. A growing awareness from here to there, through learning, through spiritual development, spiritual awareness, who's good, who's bad, can you trust the institution, what can you trust, what represents good, what represents bad. Light and dark for me do not correlate, do not equal good and bad. Dark and light exist on a spectrum that is necessary for vision and non-vision, but also I make pictures and we're working with pictures, and you can't actually have a picture without that spectrum of light and dark. So anything that makes light out to be good and dark out to be bad comes from a tradition that's based in European racism, and you can check any slightly older thesaurus or dictionary for proof of that, and Malcolm X had enough to say about it to prove it as well. Necromancy actually is the root, and it was the African prophetesses who were the masters of necromancy back in the day, and their history has been whitewashed, and the Delphi oracles were the African prophetesses. Lilith is a false name, but it's based on the heritage and the gift of the prophecies, the writings, including Iliad, including Odyssey, but also the Bible prophecies originate with the African prophetesses. And the Mediterranean was largely, it had a lot of black people in it, and not as just slaves, not as slaves, as citizens, as natives to the area. Okay. And I wanted to say, I noticed that one of the fish, normally I have it like this, and it was spun like that. So, I mean, obviously I can explain why, but they wanted me to notice, right, that it was. So there could be, one of your fish could be going like AWOL. Not for the first time, I'm sure, Pisces. Okay. So let's see what these doors want to say and how we can correlate them to the tarot once we get into the tarot. Okay, so it's gorgeous bloom. Very peaceful looking. Details, but not too many details. Right? The Odyssey. Oh, what did I just say? The Odyssey and the Iliad were written by African prophets. Okay. Take in the beauty of country lands and botany. Explore the wonder like a gypsy traveler's odyssey. Okay, so Scorpio just got a gypsy card out of Susan's Phoenix cards. Deep magic, deep magic. The Odyssey. Well, that fits with that world right there. And I'm going to put it right there for now with that crossroads. Not that you can see because I didn't change the focus. But anyway, secret sketches. What was it saying about drawings? Pictures. Wander and seek the familiar and friendly kind. Draw memories and sketches for others to find. So, does that speak to you at all? How I started back into drawing. I went 13 years in childhood without drawing after I painted my pink spider at age 2 and got into serious shit for it. And I did that. I got into serious shit for it because I was supposed to. Spiritually. It was the start of my path. Because it drove me to pursue drawing and painting from the outside, as an outsider. Slowly over time. And I'm the only one that remembers that event. My mother was there for it. Anyway, I'll spare you the whole story. But what pushed me back into drawing after 13 years of avoiding, I mean, I had to do it for school assignments and stuff, but actually initiating anything on my own was when Audrey Hepburn died. And the day after she died, I needed to hang on to a piece of her in some way, bring a part of her back to life. And this is long before I knew I was Scorpio rising. And so I drew her. I started drawing her, and I've been drawing her again and again over the years. And that's how I taught myself how to draw, was by how much my drawing actually looked like her. But it's one of the ways I started interacting with death as a Scorpio. And bringing life out of death. Right? Bridging worlds. So, if that speaks to you at all, because you might not think that drawing has anything to do with you, but it actually does. It's the parent language, and it's the, I'm just finishing up, relaunching, well, I have to finish up the bookwork for the workbooks for my drawing course that I built. But I would, if I could get everybody to be drawing, just in different ways, but it is the parent language. So, everybody, it's like math and science. It's not just an aesthetic thing. Okay. So Pisces, but you know everything already, Pisces. So we got to figure out where those secret sketches belong on this table, and we'll get there. Patience. This was catching me up because the Wild Kuan Yin, I wasn't sure about that one. I thought, oh, that one's going to piss somebody off. It's a similar theme. Here we have it repeated. Everything will soon come to light, or soon will come to light, and then you will see things will be all right. And somebody else needs to know this in your life besides you. So I got this. Did I get this for Gemini or Cancer? I got this for somebody else as well. Okay. All right. So yes, this is because your mind is like you can adapt your mind to any other sign's mind. So it shouldn't be any surprise to see cards repeating with you. Okay. So you're, yeah, as per usual, you're going in and out of different states of mind according to signs and houses. Okay. So we'll figure out where the patience belongs as well. And let's get into the World card now. Let's get into the Tarot and find out what else we need to know. Okay. Let's see here. Saturn energy, divine timing. Now what's interesting, there was no divine timing in Scorpio's reading. Cancer and Scorpio had me thinking real hard while trying to stay extremely psychic at the same time. So if that sounds right, I think that there actually should be a black for chakra that is good. We obviously have a lot of white and blue chakra here, and possibly yellow, but we need a brown chakra as well. It's just my vote. We do have the moon here, and we have the lunar eclipse coming up. That's a lot of cards to land here. Well, we've got another queen on the table now. Now we've got two cards for me that are of Aquarius, 11th house. I reorganized because Ptolemy doesn't know everything, and what he does know, he stole from India. Well, from everybody else. But he decided that, you know, who should be cardinal, who should be fixed, and who should be mutable. But if I can take apart the religion I was in for 26 years, it's nothing to take apart what anybody else does if it doesn't ring true. And so because this is completion thinking, it needs to be in the 11th house. The progression through, you know, that's just how it is. So whether or not this is identifiable, particular to you as Aquarius energy, it's 11th house energy, okay? So your uniqueness, your areas of nonconformity, the things in childhood that made you really happy that you might not have had access to. For instance, I was really into electricity, but my parents just didn't get that. They had very strong identities themselves, and they wanted me to sort of fit their mold. They had me later in life, and I would have really liked to work with modular synths and build them, and I would have liked to work with circuits. I just wanted to build circuits and figure out how to make things do things with electrical and, you know, currents running through them. And there were like touches of getting close to that here and there, but like in the worst possible ways of dead ends. Yes, something like that. So for me, that's very much part of the Aquarius part of your chart, are those things that possibly were blocked from you, but maybe not. Mastermind thinking, though, obviously probably a lot of betrayals, but you're not dead yet. This guy's got his fingers in a specific Masonic hand gesture. He's still alive. Turning over a new leaf. And we have, this is all squaring off with the world, which means it's all in a friction state with this ending and beginning, this graduation, okay? Mars here, I'm going to take it as Mars squaring with Saturn. Loves and loyalties for me, fears, boundaries, and calculated risks. for me. This is your Saturn cycles are when you're 29, multiples of 29, or a partial of a 29. Mars is about every 2 years. Mars draws a heart around Earth in its orbit around Earth. Saturn draws a series of like 29 loops. Loves and loyalties. Attached to first house. Here we have all this Wands energy right here. Saturn ruling both your career house and your Aquarius house. So Capricorn and Aquarius. Therefore, this Queen of Pentacles here is dependent on all of these wands. And we have a Knight and a Page combined here. So your childhood and your early adulthood. Or it's between you and somebody. Okay. Two of Wands. Pairing up or going solo. So back to this squaring. Now these three cards are all in the same direction. So they're aligned. So this truth, what you know and what you're going to do with it, and being very action oriented about it, like taking control of it and making it happen. Yes. Squaring off with, why is it in friction with this? That's what's interesting. See if there's anything else. But no, I'm scared. How many more cards are we going to get from this? Nope. Okay, they're done. They're done. I'll see if there's any more Lenormand that want to say anything. But we do have this loyal friend. So for all the disloyalty here, it's possible that there's somebody who is loyal. Interesting. But that's your energy in there. It doesn't have to. What queen is missing? Queen of Cups. But you've got at least... No, see? That's what it's like. Oh. Yeah, what do we do with this? Why are you getting so many cards, Pisces? I probably won't. I'll put these off to the side. But Queen of Swords repeated with the King of Pentacles. Nine of Swords, but with the anchor. Eight of Cups with the Moon. 32 is a 5, necessary change. 35 is an 8, proving yourself to yourself. We have 9 repeated, proving yourself to everyone. And 34, look at that, we've got 34, 35, 32. No 33. Interesting. But that's a 7 of transformation. So the moon, safe passage. We've got that lunar eclipse now. The anchor is actually just setting yourself up. Exactly, like being completely on firm footing and for success. You have, this is like a 6 of Wands energy. Getting all the adoration and attention and the opportunity of the fish. There you are with your fish. An opportunity turned around. Patience and secret sketches. Nope. Everything will soon come to light. Wander and seek. Familiar and friendly kind. There might be more than one road to go down. There might be more than one road to go down. Possibly. Possibly. Okay. Let's get into these cards. Okay. So right behind frustration, and if we look at that, it's almost like a cell, isn't it? Information coming in and going out, but it's doing its part. It also looks like an eclipse, doesn't it? And an eye, of course, you know. Right underneath it was, yeah, so truth, so I held on to that. We'll see if we need to read for that, I'm not sure. But I'll hold the card up. Here's the book that goes with it. Okay. So many amazing decks from this woman. Okay. Let's see what this tells us about what's going on this table. Frustration's a necessary emotion. It's the trigger that alerts us to the fact that you're unhappy with the current situation and it's time for change. If you turn your frustrations into a positive emotion, you'll allow yourself to make the changes in your life. If you continue to live with frustrations, this will only manifest in stress-related to physical symptoms and affect your total well-being. Either allow the frustration to manifest in your body and suffer physical ailments associated with the stress, or see the frustration as the gift it truly is. Then make the changes to improve your life's journey. And it might take time because it might take some orchestrating of events, is what I'm saying. So, the situation's finally ended, but you don't feel like celebrating. It's like a double-edged sword. Oh. There we have those 10 swords and the Queen of Swords. Okay. You've won, but you've been left with a hollow and empty feeling. Success didn't have the effect you expected, which has left you feeling frustrated. Sometimes winning isn't everything. Winning can come with a price. Sometimes success is outweighed by the effort you put in, or the win didn't come with the glory you'd expected. Whichever way it applies to you, don't lose sight of the fact it's over now. It's over now. Celebrate the experience of completion and move on. Remember, the grass isn't always greener on the other side, but it's always worth the experience to check it out anyway. Everyone's tastes are different. Okay, so that starts to explain. Remember, the grass isn't always greener on the other side, but it's always worth the experience to check it out anyway. Everyone's tastes are different. So yes, you don't know until you've checked. And this is certainly green grass. So I think it's called optimization. It's called you try a whole bunch of different things if you need to. Or you don't beat yourself up for checking into something and then finding out, you know, that it wasn't the thing. And you take what you can from it, right? So there's that. There's your Odyssey. Like it's over here, but it's over here as well. So for now, I'll put it with that. This patience now goes with this. Okay. All right. What do I want to do next? We'll finish with, let's get into Susan's card. I will get the book for this. Okay, so let's see. I'll hold the card up. Remember, it's a 6, and we have that moon there. So in the sun position, which for me, in my shorthand, would be about your instincts and your triggers. What are your best first thoughts, and then what's coming at you that takes you off track. But then what tools can you find in those triggers? Yeah, you go into the trigger and you find the tool that's buried in it. So now to read from Susan. You are discovering wizard-like qualities in your personality and essence. Computers may be going haywire around you. Street lamps could flicker as you walk by. Premonitions may become a daily occurrence. You've always known you're psychic, but this is downright weird. The image you project now is mysterious and eccentric. Others are having trouble defining or understanding you. You are sending out mixed signals and a lightning bolt or two. This card choice indicates a temporary holding pattern. Be patient. There's a giant step forward coming soon. And believe in that. Absolutely. So this emphasis on patience. Okay. Let's go to the moon position of conscience. Here, there's an intellectual awareness of traditions, but the soul radiates an urge to start new ventures and follow them through to completion. It's a good time to take up old goals, but with new emphasis. This card choice gives you an ability to catch glimpses of the future. Awareness of traditions, but the soul radiates an urge to start new ventures and follow them through to completion. So are we talking then about this optimization, these options, these choices, right? This greener grass. This is what we're talking about. Are they physical ventures or it's a combination? In the Mercury position, your mind and imagination, yeah? Your mind is being tested, and you will enjoy discovering a new perspective. You're attracted to the unorthodox and offbeat, but your own opinions may be stubborn or fixed. An idea is not necessarily good because it's different. Test your ideas first and determine if they're useful. Test them. How do we have testing them? Well, optimizing them. Okay, I'll check again. Perhaps your mind's held captive by its opinions. Give up preconceived notions in order to arrive at higher levels of understanding. Okay, so become the student again, possibly, if you can identify. Well, the problem is if we get stuck in our opinions and we are held captive to them, we don't necessarily know. right? We'd have to have it pointed out to us which one is holding us captive in order for us to learn it. So that would be the intercession to find out, for God to tell you what it is you need to be changing your opinion about. In the Venus position, let's just get into this. Oops, went one page too far. Venus position being your attractions, your appetites, your needs. You're going through a phase of being sensitive to rejection in relationships. In fact, you may be hesitant to become involved in a romance because you fear you may not be able to survive the ordeal. The Mound Builder card in the Venus position indicates you're able to project several different personas. Each person who meets you for the first time gets a different picture or impression. This may be intentional on your part because you don't really want others to know you too well. You're afraid that if they did, they'd automatically reject you. This is a false belief. You're as worthy as anyone else, perhaps more so, since most people don't spend as much time working to enhance their value to others. This makes you a more conscientious and respectful partner than most. Right, and so apropos to you and Gemini, people just don't. Even people that pay attention to their own astrologies, and they don't understand that they all have Pisces and Gemini in their charts. So many people don't. I mean, they do, but they don't do the work, I don't think. They don't do the chart work. Everybody's got Neptune and Jupiter in their charts. Everybody has Mercury in their charts. Everybody has a 3rd house. Everybody has a 12th house. And I use more than one system. I use whole and uneven. In terms of, I use Regiomontanus, which is also Ibn Ezra. So I do a double house system. It's that complex. But yeah. All your nuances. So if we look at the spectrum, yes, the full range from dark to light in both cards. Actually, in all 3 cards. Yes? And the awareness of all those gray areas. So this rejection. The problem is that because you do more work than most to understand people, you just have to accept. I think you just have to accept that it's going to take a lot of time. I think the patience card isn't necessarily for you. I think the patience card is for being patient with everybody else. There we go. Because you're already ahead of them. Okay, in the Saturn position. You like to work with others, but you don't like to have them contradict or disagree with you. As a worker or student, you know how to follow through. In fact, you'll often persist with a goal long after a project has outlived its value. Your gift to the world is persistence against impossible odds. However, there are times when tunnel vision limits the outcome of your goals. So there we return to, is there something that needs to be checked as far as an opinion, a belief? What needs to be opened up for this, in this portal of this world experience? This 9, persistence is a 9. And we have the 9. Are you the loyal friend? Have the 9 again. The 9 of Swords. right next to the Queen of Swords. So we have the Ten of Swords, the Nine of Swords, and the Queen of Swords repeated. Right? That's where our 9 is. Okay. And that is in your uniqueness. That's in Uranus, Saturn energy, but Uranus energy, Aquarius, 11th house, emphasis on 11th house energy. So the things that really made you happy in childhood, your unique interests that you need to reclaim or continue to build from. Okay, so then we go to the Uranus position. 2 more positions. You're currently neglecting your own talents in favor of the whims of others. Make sure you aren't manipulated into doing work that no one else really wants to do. You're unusually creative and willing to tackle exciting projects. Unless you make your limits clear, you may end up doing everything yourself. The next time an idea is brought up, make sure that you stipulate that it will be a group effort with everyone doing his or her share. If not, you may find yourself picking up the pieces and doing the dirty work for unmotivated associates. You'll never get ahead that way, right? So prioritizing. Prioritizing whatever these projects are. Prioritizing these things that you want to come back to or carry on with, that you're probably being pushed to abandon. As per usual. Final position in the Pluto position. This Pluto would be your hidden wealth, your secret wealth, your stolen wealth, right? Like what what's the world has done to come between you and what's yours. This card selection signals a period of nervous tension. Okay, so here we have with the frustration and the swords energy. Yes. You may feel a need to pull back and discover your own resources. You're experiencing deep cathartic changes in your life that could potentially destroy someone who's less strong. You thrive on these new challenges. It's important that you shift your attention from your personal problems and confront your true self. Again, don't let the peanut gallery interfere with your projects. Now is the time for you to shed outworn attitudes or ideas. Right. So it is possible that other people's limitations are too much in your head. Possibly, maybe not. Okay? But let's see here. Yes, see the patience, pass this card on. It's somebody else's energy. You're having to be patient with other people. You have to do what you need to do and allow work into the projects or work into whatever it is you're doing. The understanding that it's going to take time because people need to be brought around gradually. Because the contrast to this, I was internalizing when I checked the back of this card. Okay, look how beautiful it is. And look at the gorgeous contrast of all the light tones and then the medium tone and the dark tone. Yeah? What do we have? Tons of birds. These are all birds. What's she been doing? I gotta figure out what she's been doing. I'm not sure what she's been doing. She's been getting mucky. Awesome. Awesome, but that's Kuan Yin. Okay, we have a crow or raven. Maybe I have that wrong. Lots of sheep. And this is a river. This is a river. So, your time will come. Some souls are slower to blossom. And the way I read that at the beginning was that we're targeting your soul as being slower to blossom. I'm like, right, here we go. No, what if it's everybody else's soul that's slower to blossom? building their inner beauty over time until just the right moment. Then the fullness of their beauty, power, and grace is revealed, providing powerful healing medicine for those in need of comfort and hope. Right? So believe in that about them. Focus on that about them. This is your mantra. Pay it forward for them. You're already there. So remember what it can take to get them to where you are. Or to where they belong, right? It doesn't have to start to sound the wrong way, right? That starts to sound the wrong way. It doesn't have to be the wrong way. I mean, wherever they're meant to get to, what's your role in getting them to that, yeah? And there's all the humility in the world with that, as well as the pride. The balance of pride and humility, of knowing. It's like, I know my part, and I know when Spirit speaks through me. Can't be weak. You have to be self-possessing, or people can't, or your energy isn't trustworthy, because anybody can speak through you if you're not strong. Even if you are strong, it takes time to figure out, to test who's speaking through you. So I really like how they've worked with me in this reading to shift the perspective, and I guess that's what we're talking about. When they're saying, what do you need to see in a new way? You're not being beaten up to be patient with yourself or with your life path. If any other reader's coming across with you needing to be patient with your process and your time, it's no. You're already there. Who are you responsible for reaching out to? They're the ones. So so thank you, God, because I said it's a thing that we need intercession from God on. God needs to tell us what it is that we need to change our minds about, to change our perceptions about. And so that's exactly what's happened in this reading. God got specific, said this is exactly what you need to see differently. It's not about being patient with God and the universe and your guides for you. They would like to speed up this process more than anybody. Less suffering for everyone. I do not believe in an all-powerful God. I believe that we were stolen, or the universe was stolen. It's all... I don't belong to any one particular belief system anymore. I made up my own mind about things, and I pulled things together from what makes sense from everybody's experiences. And what makes sense to me, right and wrong. So I don't have an agenda to push. Except God's agenda, and God I'm fairly scientific about. And I'm not in a panic to define God. That's the whole point of experiences. I love experiences. So, anyway, thank you, God. Thank you for making that clear. Pisces, I'm an idiot. You see how I even have this blue candle? Sometimes I have a tall blue candle in the background for my friends in the spirit world that work with me, that help me, the victims. Right? Remember the story? Who's a loyal friend? Ten of Cups. One of your own cards, but also 10 Cups to me is also so many spirit guides. So many people, because Cups energy, of course, is all tied to the other dimensions, the other places where we go and communicate from, yeah? So you have a very loyal friend, however they were in your life while they were here, who's over there, who knows exactly what you need to do and is with you. And is saying hello and sending you love. And tremendous pride for you. Okay. But this whole message is, there's something about who they are. There's something about what they wanted. There's something about how they connected with you that's tied to this. Some part of their truth. Some sort of justice for them. Even if they didn't suffer an injustice by leaving. Even if it was all peaceful. But there is something about what they accomplish by helping you. By being here for you. Okay? It helps them heal. Okay. Thank you, Pisces. Much love again.